Good morning, yogis, and welcome back onto the mat with me for today's Yin Yoga sequence, which is focusing on the kidney and the urinary bladder meridian. So Yin Yoga is a beautiful practice of long holding postures, tapping into our Yin energy, which is the lunar energy, where we are tapping into a more introspective practice, a more meditative practice. So for this practice, you're going to need your yoga mat and a bolster or a couple of pillows if you have some handy. Get hold of those now and meet me on the mat. Join me for this beautiful Yin practice. So let's begin by bringing hands into prayer pose and allowing yourself a few moments just to connect. Beginning to rub your palms together, generating some warmth between your hands, and then resting that warmth into the heart center. Taking a few deep breaths here. Allowing the shoulders to drift away from the ears as you lengthen up from the base of your spine. Allowing yourself to find comfort within the position as you ground down into the earth beneath you. Allow yourself to become fully present in the moment, and as we move through this next hour of practice, allow yourself to connect fully to your breath, honoring your body. Next exhale, you can lower the hands down to the knees with the palms to face upward and just allow yourself a few moments to arrive in the space. Beginning to notice the sounds around you. Maybe the distant sound of a dog barking or a bird in a tree. Just noticing sounds. And then drawing your awareness within the room that you're in. Just whatever is presented to you on your mat today. Move through this practice honoring the 3 principles of Yin Yoga, which are to find your edge. Your edge is at a 5 out of 10. And then to hold the posture in stillness. Allow yourself a last few breaths before gently fluttering your eyes open, coming back into your space. So for today's practice, we're going to begin with melting heart, which is known as puppy pose in Hatha. So just gently coming onto all fours. We can use the bolster for this or a couple of pillows if you have some. Just placing them in front of you. We're going to extend the arms right forward. We're going to fold the head down, forehead down to the ground, and you can extend both of your arms forward here. So finding a beautiful posture here in puppy pose, the knees are stacked underneath the hips, and allow yourself to melt down, breathing deeply. We're going to take 3 minutes here, so just finding yourself in the posture and letting go. Allow your practice today to be very introspective. Allow yourself to be fully grounded down into the practice. Finding that space of stillness, surrendering into the posture and letting go. You can also adjust if you're not feeling the use of your bolster today, just dropping the elbows down to the ground And maybe drawing the hands into the nape of the neck. Just breathe here. Bringing big focus into the open breathing cavity, expanding the breath forward and back, side to side, up and down. As you deeply inhale and exhale. Noticing a softening right from the base of the spine, moving all the way to the base of the shoulders and neck, really allowing yourself to melt down into the earth beneath you. Just noticing where in the body you can soften a little bit more, maybe through the toes, maybe through the shoulders, maybe through the lower back. Gently lowering your palms down into the ground, pressing into the mat with the palms, walking them back towards the knees, taking a moment here, just allowing the breath or the spine to be in a neutral position for 10 deep breaths. Gazing between your palms. And then gently stepping the palms forward, lowering yourself down onto the belly. So gently dropping forward. We're going to go into seal pose after taking a few moments in Sphinx pose. So Sphinx pose, the elbows are stacked underneath the shoulders. We take a few moments here, gazing forward, rolling the shoulders down through the back body. A couple of breaths. Take 3 more breaths here before we move into seal pose. And pressing, moving the hands slightly out toward the edges of your mat, pressing the palms into the ground, raising yourself up and allowing yourself now to hold in seal pose. So just noticing if this pose is too much or too intense for you, you can drop back down into Sphinx and remain in Sphinx. So just keep breathing. The kidney meridian, one of the lines of or meridian lines in Chinese medicine, runs through the lower back. So by flexing through the lower back or arching through the lower back as we're doing here, we are stimulating the kidney meridian, restoring the vital flow of energy or qi, revitalizing the body. By long holding the postures in yin, we tap in to working into the connective tissues, the ligaments and the fascial layers of the body. Just take a little tour through the posture, noticing where you can soften a little more. Maybe softening through the toes, softening the buttocks, softening the lower back, softening the shoulders and lengthening through the neck. Just breathing, connecting to the breath. Deeply inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Eyes are closed, allowing yourself to go within. Gently dropping the elbows, lowering the forehead down onto the backs of your hands, just taking a moment here, allowing the body to recover and settle after the long hold of seal pose. Just take a few breaths before we move into the next posture, which is a shoulder stretch. So when you're ready, moving, if you've got a bolster next to you out of the way, we're going to take the right arm out beside us in a 90-degree angle. Then you're going to roll over onto the right hip. And from here, you have the option to bend the bottom right leg and then to step the left foot behind the right knee. So the cheek and the chin and the cheek and the head rests down onto the ground. And if you like, you can take the left hand and thread it or bring it behind the lower back. And just breathing here for 3 minutes. Finding your space of stillness once more. Letting go and relaxing. Noticing what this shoulder stretch is presenting for you. A deep opening up into the shoulder. Often our posture creates a space for very rounded shoulders as we hunch over a desk. So this posture, or this yin yoga posture, allows us to really correct that. Just notice where in the body this stretch is presenting for you, and then breathe into that space. Deep breaths, inhaling and exhaling. Gently rolling onto the belly, allowing yourself a few moments. Tuck the toes, roll yourself back into child's pose, just for about 3 or 4 breaths. Drop the hands and the elbows down onto the ground. Just breathe here. Feeling into the back body, just noticing sensations within your body. On your next exhale, gently roll back down. We're coming into the shoulder stretch now on the left side. So rolling over, extending, left hand out in 90 degrees, rolling over onto the left hip, and then right foot steps behind, knee towards the ceiling, and you can draw your hand back. And then just settle in, close your eyes, and breathe. Once more, noticing where in the body this stretch presents for you. What are the sensations that you're feeling as you find yourself here in this shoulder stretch? Working to open up the chest, to correct the posture within the shoulders. Deeply inhaling and exhaling. Just checking in to see if you can soften anywhere else within this posture. Maybe allowing yourself to open and release whatever you're holding onto here. Gently rolling over onto the belly once more. Drop the forehead, draw the hands under the shoulders, tuck the toes. Allow yourself to press back into child's pose once more. Take a few moments here. Once more, feeling into the body. Just allow the arms to rest down on your mat. More deep breaths here. On the next exhale, press palms into the mat, gently draw yourself back up. We're coming into the next posture, which is a twisted tadpole. So tadpole is the baby version of frog pose. So we keep the toes to touch it. We take the knees really wide. So as though we were going into frog pose, we're setting ourselves up and then dropping forward, and we're going to take the right arm, threading it underneath the left armpit, allowing the forehead to drop down towards the ground. If this is enough for you, just stay here. If you need a little bit more, you feel like you are able to open up shoulders a little bit more, draw the left arm around the body and then just breathe here. So again, feeling into the posture, breathing deeply. Softening the body, softening into the groin, softening into the target area in the inner thighs and groin. Just noticing the body beginning to release and open as you long hold this tadpole twist. Just keep your focus on the breath. Really allow the body to open and soften and let yourself just melt into the shape. Whatever is presented for you here, if it's too intense or feels too much, you can back out a little bit. But if you find yourself at that edge of a 5, let the body do the work now. Last few seconds here. Allowing yourself to melt down into the ground. Gently allow yourself to come out. Press palms into the mat. Just draw your knees together for a moment. Take a little rest in hero pose. Bring the hands into prayer. Just for a moment, just relax here. Before we move over to the other side, just a couple more breaths. and then gently taking the knees out wide once more. Allow yourself to fold down. We're now taking the left arm underneath the right armpit, allowing yourself to settle here. And if it's available to you, threading around the right arm, over the back body. And then once more, just settle and breathe. Noticing where in the body you can soften just that little bit more. Releasing the trying and the doing and just being in the space. Last 30 seconds. Gently allow yourself to come out, press the palms back into the mat, gently step both of the knees back together. Allow yourself a moment in hero pose once more, just gathering the breath, feeling sensations within the body. And then slowly coming out and getting into our next shape, which is caterpillar pose. So sending the feet out, soles of the feet forward. We're coming into a forward fold now, so you can grab hold of a bolster. Make sure that you're sitting here on the sit bones, roll onto them, allow the legs to drop back down. If you need, you can roll up a blanket and place that under the hips to help you find the sit bones. And then when you're ready, just allowing or walking your hands forward and allowing the whole body to drift down, melting over the thighs. So if you need a block here to rest your forehead onto, or a pillow, whatever you've got nearby, you can grab hold of that now, letting go and relaxing into the posture. And just softening the body over, thighs, allowing yourself to drop forward, breathing deeply here. Soften through the toes, the ankles, the legs. Soften all the way over the back body. Any of our forward fold postures in Yin Yoga stimulate the urinary bladder meridian, restoring the flow of qi once more through that meridian. Once more, finding the rhythm of your breath, finding stillness within, observing your breath, allowing the body to naturally fold into this shape. Notice sensations within the body. Maybe they've eased if you really found yourself in that edge of a 5 and you were able to fully surrender. Just notice what is being presented to you. Last 30 seconds here. Gently turn your palms down onto the floor. Draw the hands back. Just take a few breaths here, feeling into the body. Before we come into the last of our, or second last actually, of our postures today. So just another couple of breaths. Gently shift yourself down. Bring in your bolster or your pillows. We're coming into the reclined butterfly. So we're shifting the bolster up behind the buttocks. You can have the soles of the feet to touch here. Gently allow the body to relax over the bolster with both of the hands drifting out to either side of the body. Allow yourself just to relax here. If it's too much for you to have your legs in butterfly, you can also walk the feet to the edge of the mat and just allow the knees to rest against one another. Just listen to your own body. What is your own body wanting of you today? The third option is to just draw the legs all the way down to the bottom of the mat and to allow them to sink down there. So just adjust according to how you are feeling today. The beautiful thing about Yin Yoga is it really allows us an introspective look at how we are feeling, and then honoring that. So let go now and surrender into the shape. Noticing that you now have a clear and open breathing channel through the chest. So allow yourself to take deep cleansing breaths, fully filling up the lungs and exhaling, releasing and letting go. Deep inhale and a deep exhale. Just noticing your breath as you deeply inhale and exhale. Moving into the last 30 seconds in our supported fish or reclined butterfly. Gently allow your feet to drift down to the bottom of your mat. Roll your bolster, your block, your blankets, whatever you've got, pillows out of the way. Allow yourself to take a deep stretch with the arms up overhead. As you exhale, hug both of the knees down into the chest. Give yourself a few moments here, just taking a minute. Gently lower your feet all the way down to the bottom of the mat. Allow yourself to come into Shavasana or corpse pose for a last final bit of relaxation. So just adjusting the body, feet are at the edges of your mat, hands are drifting out beside you. Allow yourself to let go here. Beginning with the toes, the soles of the feet, the ankles. Allow yourself to completely relax. Moving up through the calves, the shins, and into the knees. Let go and relax. Softening through the thighs, into the hips, the buttocks. All relaxed. Relaxing through the fingers, the palms, the backs of your hands, your wrists. Just let go and relax. Moving up through the forearms, into the elbows, up into the upper arms, shoulders. Let the whole body relax down into the mat beneath you. Unclench your jaw as you soften the muscles around the mouth and the eyes. Allow your whole body to sink down into the floor as though it's being held. Just let go. Bring your awareness to the area between your eyebrows, noticing softening and expansion in this area. Finally, bring your awareness back to the back of your head where it's resting on your mat. Really allowing it to sink into the ground as you take a last few breaths, completely surrendering and relaxing. When you are ready, you can gently begin to wriggle your toes, bringing some movement back into your feet, taking the tip of your thumb and gently drawing it across the tips of your fingers, gently allowing your head to roll over from one side to the other, before drawing up your arms, taking a big yawn, and then gently rolling over onto either your right or your left side for a last moment. And then slowly drawing yourself back up into easy seat. Bringing your hands back together in prayer pose. Gently begin to rub your palms together, resting your hands back into heart center. Taking a deep inhale through your nose. And as you exhale, bow your nose down to the very tips of your fingers. Taking a moment to acknowledge yourself for turning up to the practice. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me today.